What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Leftovers podcast. I'm Joe,
And I'm Charlie.
and apologies again for no episodes for a couple of weeks.
Been busy.
Schedules have been very busy, and we haven't had enough time. But a lot has happened over the past few weeks. We're going to go over it. Football, low key, it's coming home. Yeah.
It is.
Oh, it is coming home. We'll start off with football. Obviously, we've had the rest of the group stages. We've had the quarterfinals and I should have said the round of 16 first. The round of 16 and the quarterfinals. So we'll just talk about the quarterfinals quickly. Mainly the England game because we faced Germany and we won 2-0. And we were actually pretty good. We were actually pretty good that game. I mean, Müller missed a sitter, but besides that, we were pretty good.
Yeah, we were, weren't we? It was a solid game. And obviously, people were, especially after the Scotland game, basically, sceptical of Southgate and his tactics and every line out. Not everyone's going to be happy with his line out, but I think a lot of people were more against his line out than for it, especially through the group stage. But got obviously the win against Croatia, and then after the draw against Scotland, people were like, "Oh, for God's sake, here we go." But he managed to claw the fans back on his side, and we were just like, okay, we beat Czech Republic, and then we've gone into the round of 16, and we had Germany, and what a game it was. Just old rivals, one of the biggest rivals in international football history, and we've been waiting so long to beat them in a tournament. What was it? Since '66, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, it was. I think that was the last time we beat Germany. We all know what happened there.
Yeah. I mean, I was, wide and awake then, wasn't I? Yeah, thank God that streak is now over, and we are looking to seriously dominate teams. And then it was I was a bit scared because Sterling, obviously he didn't score in the against. Excuse me, they didn't score in the quarterfinals, but obviously he's been playing not the best every game he's scored, but he's managed to grab a goal or contribute. I mean, he did get an assist, to be fair, yesterday, but with Kane's first goal. But he's always scored. But then remember when he played Germany through own goal, he just passed it back to no one, and then Müller was through own goal, and I thought, oh my God, here we go. And then he put it wide and was like, old Müller never would have put that wide. He would have slotted that home for sure.
Yeah, you'd think Müller's a player of Müller's quality and that as well, but just a player of Müller's quality would have put that in the back of the net, taken that chance, and punished us. But we got away with it, and we took advantage of it by scoring again. Harry Kane finally getting on the score sheet in the Euros. And
he brings on Service, he brings on Grealish, and Kane shines.
Yeah. As soon as Grealish came on, he kind of changed the game a bit and provided that little bit of extra quality that we needed.
As he comes on, we score 2 goals, we secure the dub, and then up we get. There's loads of shocks. Obviously, with Switzerland beating France.
Yes, yeah, that was a mad game of football that day, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because it was
1-0 up, and then they missed the penalty, and we're like, oh, for fuck's sake, France are going to win this. And then Benzema grabs 2 in 2 minutes, and we go, it's the end. Oh, and then Pogba scores 3-1, an absolute cracking goal.
Yeah, brilliant goal.
And then you just for dear life, and then
they make it.
It was a great header, didn't they? Yeah, it was a great header.
Brilliant header, and then you're like, maybe not. We've seen it once. We've seen it once today. Surely not. Oh no, they've scored again.
And it takes the extra time, and then penalties, and then of all people to miss a penalty, Mbappe. I mean, you can't write.
Yeah, well, you didn't have a great tournament really. You didn't score.
No.
So, yeah, no, wasn't very confident. But I think it's a bit harsh for people to kind of blame it all on Mbappe. When you're 3-1 up, you would expect to kind of keep it that way, especially with France's quality. And the fact they conceded twice in 10 minutes, similar to Spain, but at least Spain, went ahead and still won the game in extra time. France didn't really look like scoring after their third, really. They kind of dropped back a bit and allowed Switzerland to kind of attack them, which they did. But yes, the quarterfinals as well have just taken place. They've just finished. with England beating Ukraine. We'll start off with the England game because that was probably the highlight for us as England fans. 4-0, you know, an early goal by Kane.
An absolute thrashing.
Yes, an absolute.
Got an early goal in both halves, didn't we? Obviously,
Yeah, we
Maguire
did. Yeah,
scored.
literally, I was actually in the kitchen
David.
cooking my dinner, and then all of a sudden, oh, Maguire scored. I'm like, oh, it's just kicked off,
thanks.
isn't it?
Oh.
So yeah, 2 early goals in both halves.
It was such a dominant performance. Well, obviously you can keep blowing on like the crap saying Ukraine, but like Ukraine has shown they're a tough side and they've got some good players, Zinchenko and Yarmolenko, etc. But I think it was just absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never rated Shevchenko. I've never liked Shevchenko.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but like compared to other teams, they've got like decent players. Some of the other teams in the tournament, like obviously you're not going to compare them against the Frances, the Englands, and all that. But you know, I reckon they could put up a fight against someone like Spain because Spain haven't got the best team in the world. But anything, as we've seen with games already this tournament, like for example, France, Switzerland, anyone can beat anyone on their day. And that's why you should never compare things like the Euros and the Copa America. It's just the Euros is to me is the tougher. Like to the World Cup, I think the Euros is tougher to win than the World Cup, just because other than Argentina and Brazil, and you know you can say Chile, and not really. There's not really any other big teams outside of Europe. They're all European.
I get that, but
so
I think
they're all
also
closed. Like the World Cups, obviously, because like in the World Cup, you could go from playing someone like Panama to then playing someone like Germany or France. In the Euros, you're always playing established, well, like drilled team, and you have a very good chance of playing a France, at least two of a France. And if you want to win the thing, you've got to play like 2 or 3 teams of England, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, like all these big draws, like, and they've all got really good teams. So I've always said the Euros is tougher to win, but obviously, if you had to pick one of them, it's going to be the World Cup. Obviously, it's more iconic, isn't it? And it's obviously the World Cup final is like the biggest thing in football, like a big thing of any sport. So, but yeah, so just absolutely over the moon what happened last night. Southgate just got it spot on again, clean sheet again. I think we've got the record for longest like in a tournament for not scoring a goal, for not conceding even where it is. I think that we broke that last game, but yeah, but oh my god,
we have a good
clinical,
chance.
And all 4 headers, all 4 of them were headers.
No, they weren't.
Oh no, they weren't. No, the first one wasn't. My mate told me that. My mate told me the first one there were 4 headers. I was like, no, they're not. Because he was drunk and said, "No, we scored 4 headers." I was like, "Did we score 4 headers?" Oh yeah, we did. And then
Haynes scored a header.
The first goal was not a header.
Kane scored a header when he was 2 inches off the floor. Yes, Charlie, well done.
No, I forgot like the first goal. It's just because you told me.
How much did you drink last
night?
Jesus Christ.
No, it was mainly just because Dan he just went off. All 4 headers, and I thought, are they? And then because I remembered like the 3 of them, but the one I forgot was the first goal, Kane's first goal. So I thought, oh yeah, they must have been all 4 headers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh my god.
But anyway, yeah, clinical performance, group finishes. We showed that we're clinical from set pieces, from open play. We've got a deep squad.
I'm not gonna lie. Ukraine were also awful at defending from set pieces. Like
they were terrible.
Henderson had an open header. Let's not like good for him. I'm very happy as a Liverpool fan that he scored his first England goal. But
yeah,
he was not challenged at all. There was no player within 2 meters of him. But we have a good chance.
We do indeed. Like you fancy us to beat Denmark.
Well, yes, but I think Denmark.
They'll
will
be doing it for Eriksen. They'll be fighting.
Exactly.
They'll be up for it.
And I will say this right now. If we do lose, I wouldn't mind it, just because it's Denmark.
Oh, I would. I want to win.
No. Of course, yes, I get that. But in terms of the team that we would be beaten by, I'd be happy to be beaten by Denmark. Just because
they've got 3 points in the group stage.
Just because of the story that they're going through right now. That they.
I want to win.
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
I don't care.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I don't want to win. I'm not.
To beat Eriksen to beat Denmark.
We have to beat Eriksen.
We have to beat Denmark, and I don't want to hear. I don't feel bad. We are going to win the Euros.
I wouldn't feel bad if we do win. I get that, but I wouldn't like if we were to lose against Denmark. I wouldn't be like, I'd be kind of annoyed because I'd be like, oh, we were so close again. But I'd be like, okay, at least Denmark can go on and create their story of being in the final. And
If we go out, I'll support Denmark to win it, obviously. But
yeah, if we go out
not
by
gonna
Denmark,
happen.
I would want Denmark to win the final. But obviously that depends on what the result is. Obviously, but Tuesday and Wednesday are the semi-finals. We have got Italy, Spain, the big one,
Mhm.
and then obviously, like we said, England, Denmark. Both being played at Wembley. So what are your predictions, Charlie? We'll do Italy, Spain.
Italy, Spain. I'm gonna go. Italy gonna beat Spain, and I'm gonna say 3-1 Italy.
3-1 Italy. Okay. I'm gonna go 3-2 Italy. I think it'll be quite a high scoring game. And you know what? I kind of feel like it may go to extra time. I think it'll be like 2-2 in extra time, and then Italy will score during extra time.
I think they'll both play defensive. They'd be more worried about not conceding rather than scoring.
Well, if that's the case, then I don't see many goals being scored. If that's the case, but I think Italy will be up for it, and I think Spain aren't really that defensive, or like aren't a defensive-minded team, and I think it'll just be like an attack. But then again,
I think it'll be an
Italy-
attacking game. They'll just be really
Yeah,
open.
yeah. I think Spain will definitely be more attacking than Italy. Italy are known for that they're being defensive, but it'll be very tough for them to break through them. And that's why I've said there'll be 5 goals scored. Sick. And then the big one Wednesday, England against Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're both going to predict England win, obviously.
I'm gonna go. I think we'll keep another clean sheet, and I think we'll win 3-0.
I'm going to go 2-1. I think our clean sheet record will go in the bin after this.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't trust in the old. Well, to be fair, Walker did give a couple of struggle passes back, but which is a bit worrying. But thank God it wasn't freaking
We've got away with
Benzema
it.
or someone on the end of it.
Yeah. And then we've got the final, obviously. So in this case, it'll be Italy against England.
Yeah.
Do you think we can do it? Do you think we can go the way and beat Italy? They'll be very tough to break down.
I think we will beat Italy, but I think it'll be a very tough game.
I think it'll be. I think if we face Italy, it's going to be a low scoring game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I think it'll be 1-1, go to extra time, and maybe even penalties.
Oh mate, I can't do with penalties in the final. No.
We just about managed
Lose.
penalties. We've just about managed penalties in the.
At least we haven't
against
taken
Colombia.
Eric Dyer. I mean, Henderson's shit at penalties, to be fair. Like, he's terrible, but...
You say that, but Eric Dyer scored the winning penalty for us against Colombia.
Yeah, I know, but he also missed his next one or something. It was another game or something. But then Henderson's shit at penalties. I just no penalties, please. No.
I'm
can just
fearing
see it now.
I'm fearing it. We get knocked out on penalties. It's going to be insane.
If we win on penalties, that'd be amazing. But I
If
just
we win
don't
on
want it. I just want
penalties-
it. 90
if we win on
minutes.
penalties,
Just
fine.
come on, boys.
It'll
We
be
did against Ukraine to bring in Denmark and whoever we play in the final.
It will be interesting. And also, besides the Euros, in terms of football, this transfer saga is finally over. Sancho's finally going to sign for Man United. Glad we can get that out of the flipping way. What was it, 72 million as well? Is he worth that much, Charlie? 72 million? Do you think he's worth more?
Sancho?
Yeah. No, Eric Dyer.
Well, don't you could be other players. Now, Hakimi was 70 million.
I literally said Jadon Sancho. The
Yeah,
transfer.
phased out. You got to remember, I was on the shit last time. But yes, Jadon Sancho, 70 million. I mean, they were like one step away last summer, but they would have to have paid about 105 million for him. So I think they've done well for 72 million quid. So yeah, I think he is in the modern market. Yeah, that's a good price. Dortmund did come out saying they were unhappy with it though, but they knew no one else had the money for him.
They would be,
So-
wouldn't they? Especially because the pandemic has kind of screwed it all over, and finances aren't as high as they could be, and that's good. Like, I think Man United were the only realistic buyers that were really interested in Sancho. So it was either that or they just don't sell him.
Maybe Chelsea, but I mean they're kind of going for other.
I don't.
at the
I wouldn't.
moment.
He doesn't. For me, it wouldn't have made sense for him to go to Chelsea. Like, it was Man United or like maybe Liverpool, but we'd have had to sell one of our front three, in my opinion. And I don't think.
Nah.
Excuse me, I don't think that was going to happen. So yeah, Man United made the most sense. But it'd be good to see him in the Premier League, see how he does.
I think City got a bit of cash as well.
City do get some money. I don't know if it was like 16
like-
million or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, 15 something like that million. Yeah, I saw.
They got something just to
It was
add
a
to
nice
their,
little chunk, innit?
just to add to
Slap on another right back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, right. Oh, we should have gone for Hakimi. Oh,
Oh, Man United. I heard you're going for a Kieran Trippier. Can we just have the other dollar, please?
yeah, exactly. Imagine that.
Just ship him over the other side of Manchester.
Yeah.
Tar.
Oh God. But yeah, not. We just got to hope that football finally comes home on Sunday. That's it. Sunday already. You know, it's Sunday, and that's the end of the year is already. My God. Oh, it's gone so quick. I don't like it. It's already July in 2021 as well. Like, time has gone by so quickly. But let's go to Loki, because we've got a lot to talk about on Loki. Because there's 3 episodes we need to catch up on in terms of recap. We'll quickly blast over episode 2 and 3, because if we can remember them. But episode 2, it was kind of them trying to find the variant, seeing, like, trying to work out where they were hiding, how they were hiding, etc. And then it was the big reveal of the variant, which was female Loki, but then she doesn't like being called Loki.
Yeah.
So it's a bit interesting. But yeah, she had all those reset pod, I think that's what they're called, I can't remember, but she had like hundreds and hundreds of them, and she's just sent them all out to random parts of the timeline, and yeah, obviously the TVA were going to sort that out, and then while she was there, she was going to go to the TVA HQ, I guess, and then go sort out the timekeepers, if that was a plan. But obviously then it got butchered up by Loki in episode 3, where Loki kind of they just kind of fought for a minute, and then he sent them to Lamentus, which is like an apocalyptic planet where like the moon's crashing
Chaos,
down.
mate.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like apparently it's one of the worst apocalypse. That is on the like list, and they were trying to escape because the telepad thing was low on charge, because you know they need it for plot development, yeah, episode 3 wasn't an action-packed one. It was more of a sit-down and talk kind of one, which we've had we've had an episode in each series so far. We've had an episode like that. Like in WandaVision, it was the kind of the penultimate episode. It was kind of more the exposition episode, and it didn't feel like that. I felt like this one we still gained some kind of information, especially them hinting at that the TVA people that worked at the TVA were all variants rather than created by the timekeepers. And that brings us up to episode 4, where they escape Lamentus. Seems like there's some weird kind of relationship kind of. I don't know what it is. Like is it incest?
No, just listen to you, can't explain
but
it.
Is it incest or is it not incest? Like, because technically she's low key, but they're different types of low key.
They're not directly.
They're not biologically.
They're not directly
same.
like same blood. like obviously it's like
but it's
it
kind of
isn't the same bloodline. It's the same person, but it's not.
it's very weird, isn't it? It's very weird. And obviously Loki has
Did
grown.
you see the credit scene though?
Yes, we'll get onto that in a minute,
Yeah.
because that is very cool. But the yeah, like there was like, when they were on Lamentus and they were about to die, quote unquote. Um, there was a Nexus event which got triggered, and it was like a major Nexus event. Like the line was going straight up, which is how Mobius and the TVA found them, and caught them, um, and looks like it was Loki and Sylvie getting feelings for one another, which I don't know how that could break the timeline, but hey ho, it
Hmm.
maybe it is incest. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But yeah, a lot to unravel in this episode, particularly the fact that everyone was finding out they're all variants and not created by the TVA or the Timekeepers rather. We finally saw the Timekeepers, or did we? Oh,
Hmm.
but yeah, what were your thoughts on the episode, Charlie? 'Cause
Well,
I've been rambling on a lot now.
to be fair, like I think it was I think third episode was the one people were like it was a bit boring,
Yeah,
but nothing really happened too much. Like
yeah,
obviously the first episode we kind of got introduced to the characters and this and that, and then
mm.
the second we're like, okay, there's a bit of action,
It's starting
what's
to build
going
up now.
on,
It's starting to build
ULA
up.
and all that lot. Yeah, but come to the most recent episode, episode 4, like obviously we had the big chaos scene and everything, and obviously had like some fights, and then went on that weird thing, you know, when Loki started singing and everything.
Oh, in episode 3, yes.
Yeah,
And then he was like, "I'm not drunk. I'm just full." Like, what do you mean?
yeah. But it's just this old classic Ags Guardian coming out of him, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
fucking like. But yeah, I enjoyed the latest episode, episode 4. But obviously, with what we've seen with the end, it's kind of like I still don't know where they're going with this and how like it will tie into like if it will like in terms of not necessarily time run travel, but it is time travel, but more like the multiverse and how it's going to tie into Spider-Man: No Way Home and Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness and all that lot and like Wonder and everything. So I don't know if they're going to tie into that or they're going to bring things like Thor into it. Obviously, I don't know where they're going with this, but I am very, very intrigued and very, very invested. But
Yeah.
yeah, so far it's been a decent show. It's been worth the watch.
Yeah.
I still prefer at the moment Falcon and Sonja, but I need to see the rest of the last 2
Mm.
episodes to make a final decision. But I think they've got a big ending plan for this. And obviously Owen Wilson's character, what's his name, Morbius. We still don't.
Mobius.
We didn't see where he went.
Mobius. Morbius is
Yeah,
Morbius is the
Mobius
vampire, mate.
we still didn't know where he went, did we? Or something
Uh,
when he got like
we don't
evaporated.
technically know, but I think we can assume maybe
He found out
it's-
that he originally thought like because he was when he explained to Loki in episode 1 that they were like brought up there this and that or what you remember he was saying like this is our life like and then he quickly found out that it was all just a load of bollocks and that he was actually taken from somewhere or something. He kept saying he was on a jet ski or whatever it was, and that was his dream or something. So
Yeah, just a dream.
Yeah,
Dream I swear to God, if they don't pay that off by him at the end riding on a jet ski, I'm not going to be happy. But I think it's safe to assume that maybe it's safe to assume Mobius isn't dead. And I would assume he's somewhere in the universe or whatever the planet where Loki is. And this probably leads on to the post-credit scene because obviously in the post-credit scene, after Loki was pruned, that's the term they used. We thought, oh my God, Loki's dead, Mobius is dead, what the hell? But it turns out they actually just get sent to this random abandoned planet that looks kind of like Earth, but it's like a apocalypse really, because you've got the Avengers Tower in the background and whatnot. Like it's the old Avengers Tower as well. It's not like the new one, but maybe it's a world when Loki beat the Avengers. You know, who
Mm.
knows? But the post-credit scene,
Oh, maybe.
maybe who knows? Maybe. But the post-credit scene revealed
Shit ton of Lokis.
there seems to be a lot of Lokis there.
Who was that actor again? He was in.
Richard E.
He
Grant.
brought him in for Star Wars. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Eh?
he's in everything now.
But there was I think the three were Kid Loki, it was Classic Loki, who was Richard E. Grant's character, and I can't remember the other Loki, but it seemed to be like a Loki that maybe got the hammer over Thor. It's like a different type of Mjolnir and whatnot. So yeah, there's also Alligator Loki. I think that's new. So it'll be interesting to see. What I did
Don't
see
know how
somewhere as
they-
well. I
I
did
don't
see
know how in one timeline that's a thing.
yeah, but I did see also some. Well, we've had Spider-Ham, from Spider-Man into Multiverse. So animal heroes are a thing, and villains.
Maybe it's just from the animal world or some shit, or where humans
Well,
don't
yeah, maybe.
aren't just a thing.
I did see somewhere as well when obviously Loki's like they're zoomed in on Loki and you hear Richard E. Grant's voice. I read a comment that like the voice was coming from the alligator, not actually Richard E. Grant's character. I just thought that'd be quite funny. But yeah, it's again, Tom Hiddleston. I think I've mentioned this before. Tom Hiddleston said that episode 4 and 5 were meant to be the big episodes. And yeah, episode 4 was a big episode. Who do you think is behind it all? Because obviously the timekeepers aren't real; they're robots, and obviously somebody's got to be controlling them.
I honestly have absolutely no idea.
Do you think
Dormammu.
it's Dormammu, for God's sake? Do you think it's Miss Minutes?
It
But
could be her.
But then again, that's like an algorithm, isn't it? So somebody had created her in order to. So I don't know. Do you think it's Kang the Conqueror as well? Maybe.
There's a few possibilities. I doubt it's someone we haven't seen yet, or like know of that much about. But
The issue is though if it's a character we haven't seen before, it's going to be kind of like the Agatha reveal. Like, oh, okay, cool, but we don't really know anything about them. Like if it is Kang the Conqueror, we're like, well, if we weren't told that Kang the Conqueror is going to be in a future MCU product, Ant-Man 3, maybe this would have been a better reveal and whatnot. But also at the same time, like we haven't seen him before, and like we don't, and like people who have only watched the films are going to be like, well, who is this guy? So that's the issue that I have if it is like this just character that we don't know. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Because I'd prefer it as well, like if it was a character within the show that we've already seen, and it's like, oh yeah, if you look back, you can see this hint and this hint, this kind of clue, and it makes sense now, as to why it's this character. But yeah, we have to wait and see. But it kind of makes sense for it to be Cam, but just because that's the most logical sense. But like again, we have to wait and see. But looks like we're going to see maybe President Loki next episode. Going to see, we'll just see what happens. Really, we're going to see some action. Are we going to see the reveal? Probably not. But it's going to be exciting. I in my opinion, this is the best series so far. Loki, I've really enjoyed it.
What? Compared to Falcon and Soldier?
I prefer it. I think.
No way.
I
was miles better than
no,
this.
No. I prefer it because I think like episode 2, when the end of episode 2 ended, I was like, oh my god, this is actually really cool. Like that was the first time I actually like ended an episode like, oh my god, this is really cool. Like I enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier, I enjoyed WandaVision, but that was only because at like the Falcon and Winter Soldier at the end, it was like just, oh yeah, we got Falcon now becomes Captain America, and
Oh, so
whatnot.
much more than that.
I felt
Like
no,
fight scenes are amazing. The
yeah,
comedy, Zemo,
some of it was
like
some of it was good as well. But
imagery. Oh, it's
I think
amazing.
I think it for a character like Loki and the story they're trying to tell, it can be difficult, and I think they've gone at it really well. And apparently there is going to be a series 2 of Loki apparently as well. Don't know how that's going to work,
Mm.
um, but I feel like with the story of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think you can have that as a film. Like you can chop off some bits and you can make that as a film. That story that was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you can make that as a film if you just chop out some bits. With this one, I feel like it will all come together in the end. Like I mean, so does the other stories, but like you need it all in order for it to make sense. I think if you chop out some bits of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you're like, okay, fine, whatever. It still kind of makes sense. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, at the moment I just prefer Loki out of them all. I just think I think it's more like you're just I'm just enjoying myself. It's kind of like it's got that MCU feel, but it's also kind of got a like the sci-fi type thing and the you know time travel and etc. and whatnot. It's quite a fun thing, whereas Falcon and Winter Soldier is something that we kind of have been
Do you think
used
you
to seeing.
prefer Loki because of how it could have a bigger impact on the MCU?
Um, I mean, I don't know what that impact is yet. Like, no one knows yet. Like, obviously,
Oh, it's
Kevin.
obviously like time
Obviously,
travel, isn't it? And
well, they
like
could
the
have done. No,
multiverse.
no. Well, yeah, the multiverse is more likely. I think time travel they could have done all the time. Because they created a time machine. But I
Well,
think
like the multiverse, like you think of it. So Falcon Winter Soldier is not going to have too much of an impact, is it?
no,
Like
I get that. I
emotionally, it might, but physically, not really. Loki will have a huge impact on like you couldn't get much bigger impact in the MCU because like
mm,
fucking up the timeline is you don't get much bigger than that, and different time, variants and all this and that. Um, and then you've also one division is it's like the middle one, like it's significant because it can change reality, which it did for until the end, and it has caused effects and change within that world. But obviously, Loki can just do everything in existence. So it's kind of just like they've gone middle back down to like surface level, like Captain America, like his films were, and then you've like the Ant-Man's where it can make a big like difference, like something that's really like you've got the quantum realm, you've got time travel, you've got um multiverse. So those sort of like brackets of like things that you can't like mess around with because if you do, this is what could happen and this could be changed. So it's very like I'm indulged with that. Like that's what I like
I
about
get
Loki.
no,
Is,
yeah,
like anything can happen. Like if he does one thing wrong or like something gets mucked up, which we already have seen, like shit happens.
yeah. I get the point you're coming from. But the thing is they are two completely different stories, aren't they? Like Falcon and Winter Soldier
Yeah, it's hard
is
to compare, but it's more
it's
you just
hard
compare
to
it with like what you
yeah
like the most, like
yeah.
watching.
And I enjoyed the kind of the um the more personal aspect in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So like the relationship between Bucky and Sam, the relationship between um, Sam and his sister, stuff like that. In terms of the actual storyline itself, it wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I just felt like it could have been a bit better, and I'm like, it's just it's and like the Sharon Carter power broker thing. Like I was just like that, whatever. That doesn't appeal to me at all.
Mm.
But with this, it's like, sure, the third episode wasn't great, but I felt like I still learned a lot about these characters. I learned a lot about Sylvie. I learned a lot more about Loki. And we've known Loki since pretty much the very beginning. We know we found out he's bisexual. We found out
That
more
isn't
about.
confirmed.
Well. It pretty much is.
You more or less is. Unofficially confirmed.
Well, no,
But
because he was literally asked, "Do you have a partner, woman, man?" And he was like, "Oh, a bit of both. I've had a bit of both." This is
Yeah,
also,
but
we're also talking about we're also
it's not
talking about,
confirmation.
but we're
It's
also
more just
talking about a
it's pretty much
person. We're also talking about a character that, you know, made an 8-legged horse. Like I don't say gave birth, but like he helped create an 8-legged horse. Don't that Odin rides, and don't even tell me I'm being stupid, because that is true. You can Google it if you want.
I'm not saying it's not true.
But you know, no, it is. He is pretty much confirmed.
So I mean, like it's confirmed, but not like officially. Like he hasn't come out and says he's bi. But like you're not going to say that, are you? Like in an MCU, like you're not going to say it in a film. That's what I'm trying to mean.
No, yeah, I know, I get that, but like he is bi. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I know, like it's funny. Do you think they would have done that 10 years ago?
That is a good question.
I don't think they would have.
I don't think they would have, but I don't know if that's just only because they just started 10 years ago. You know, like it was only the beginning.
Because we haven't been given any hint that he's bi up till now, and then he's bi. Right.
Well, then again, we haven't been
weird.
What? Why is it weird?
Not being bi, it's a bit weird. Like how they haven't like teased it or something up till now. Like he isn't.
But why do
giving us any signals?
But we're not interested in Loki's love life. We're interested in Loki in the
mischievous.
mischievous.
We're interested in him as a character, and that's part of his character. Like
no, but that's why. That's why I think. That's why. That's why.
Even just a little scene, like
that's why I enjoyed this.
Giving a little winky face or something to a lad that he like, or something like that. I don't know. Even just something like that. Like no, we haven't given nothing.
No, but that's why I enjoyed this, because because if you're just gonna know about all the characters now, like there's no time to do character development. Like something like this now, we're like, oh okay, we see Loki. You know, Loki
I'm saying we've literally had about 10 years of him. We haven't given one even like 2-second clip of any like.
Why do we need to though? We don't need to.
Something like that is pretty big, and it's a bit rushed. Like it's like they've just done that just because it's 2021.
But I don't think it has. I don't think it has a massive impact in terms of his character.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's just something like that.
Why does it matter then? Why does it matter so much
I'm saying it would have been nice to have some sort of like. If they were, I want to know if they were actually going to plan this from the start when Loki was introduced in Thor 2011. If that was always going to be their plan, eventually make him
I don't know,
like, die or like just give some sort of like scene. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to give a like little scene. I'm not against it, because I'm not fucking against it.
No, because then we'll be talking about it. No, I'm not saying that you're against it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like if they because then we could have just assumed that when they did it like in Thor: The Dark World, like if he winks at the Dark Elves, and we'll be like, oh, okay, he's got something for the Dark Elves. Oh, saucy, like whatever.
Fucking Dark Elves.
But also as well, it's because he can shapeshift into anybody, so he can become a female, and he's probably been in a relationship with a male as a female. You know.
I'll have just like something. It's not a big thing. I'll just personally.
No, that's why I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that kind of sit down and chat with them, because we found out more about Sylvie's character, which we obviously needed because we've just found out, you know, she's new, and we need to know about her. And we also found some new stuff out about Loki, and like how he feels towards his mum and Asgard, and obviously now his love life as well. Like I found it very interesting, and I think maybe that's why I kind of enjoyed it a bit more, because we're finding out something new about a character that we've known for so long. Like with Sam and Bucky, we kind of already knew that they had this kind of indifferent friendship, and we kind of felt like towards the end they would, you know, be best buds and whatnot. But no, yeah, I still think Loki's my favourite so far, and I'm very excited for the next one. Predictions quickly, Charlie, for the next episode.
I think we'll get, kind of understand a bit more about what the fuck is Mobius gone.
Do you think we'll find out more about why Sylvie
Loki's and that?
Do you think we'll find out why Sylvie was taken captive by Renslayer?
Yeah, probably, or they might leave that towards the end of the episode and then go all in on the last episode. But yeah, like I do think the next episode will be I don't know. I can see it being both. I can see it being very action packed. I can also see him very laid back and Loki bit throughout the episode going like, "Whoa, who the hell are all these?"
I think it'll be very action packed. But
I want a 50-minute long, good, enjoyable episode with all the obviously they've brought in some more famous
Well, there's a lot to.
actors for these Lokis, and I'm looking forward to see how significant they are, and their relevance to the series. But and if they're going to tease anything else that's related to the MCU that we have seen that's been linked back towards that, or that we haven't seen, and that's going
That'll
to set
probably
up a
be
future.
that'll probably be in the last episode, I'd say. But I think I think we'll see more of the apocalyptic world that Loki's in, and we'll have like flashes in between that to Sylvie and Renslayer, and kind of like maybe they'll dedicate 10-15 minutes to begin with for Renslayer and Sylvie, and then the rest of the episode will just be Loki in the apocalyptic world. And then maybe at the end, I think that's when we'll see Mobius, and it'll be like a reveal of like, surprise, I'm not dead. And he's just coming in a jet ski. That's my ideal situation, but we'll have to wait and see. And I will say this, Charlie, if Mobius doesn't end up on a jet ski, I will class this as the worst series ever, if that's the case.
I'll hold you to that.
I won't hold myself to that. But that is all we've got time for, really, because I've actually got a busy schedule today already. But
busy schedule.
Yeah, let us know, guys, your predictions for the rest of Loki. If you're enjoying it, if you think it's better than Falcon and Winter Soldier, let us know if it's coming home. I want to actually know. Yeah, just put in the comments. Just put in the comments it's coming home. That's what we want to see. But
comments this right.
Yeah, and just anything. Just put A. Just put A. Just a capital A.
You're allowed.
Just
You're not a bot.
Exactly. Just put I'm not a robot, and then have like the traffic sign thing where it's like click all the boxes which have a traffic sign, and you have to zoom in and be like, has that square got that tiny top of the traffic light? Oh shit, it has. Do I click it? But anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy this episode, leave a like on the video, subscribe down below, and yeah, we'll just try and keep making episodes as much as possible, because obviously our schedules are busy and we just have to make them as and when we can. But anyway, I've been Joe.
I've been Charlie.
And we'll see you all in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
In a bit.